All right, welcome and welcome back. Welcome to Seek to See podcast. All right, y'all. I'm having to do a do-over, but while I do a do-over, I'm going to be doing my motherly duties at the same time. I look a little crazy right now. This is the end of the day. Okay? But that's all right. We're going to make it shake. We're going to make something shake. I'm putting some oil in my son's hair and on his head because he just got his hair cut. Okay? All right, y'all. He just got his hair cut. So, okay, so y'all, check this out. All right, so today is, it is Thursday, February 20th, 2025. 8:28. Now, the one I did originally was earlier in the day. It was like around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I was eating lunch when I did that first recording. And so, I accidentally recorded it in 4K, and I forgot that. Remember, I don't know if y'all remember when I told y'all over on my other channel, Seek to See Tarot, that YouTube is not ready for 4K. Okay, so that one is still trying to upload in, in 4K. Well, lo and behold, that sucker's trying to upload, and it's on like 117 hours. Trying to upload. I can't make it up, y'all. So now I'm having to do a do-over. I'm gonna let it continue to upload. I'm curious to see how long it's gonna take to upload. Okay. So, but I'm putting some oil on my son's head because he's a little itchy, but he just got his hair freshly cut. So I'm gonna do my motherly duties and at the same time cook some dinner. And all right, you're done, Mason.
All right.
All right, see you. I'll call you in a minute when it's done, okay? All right. So, all right, you guys. I need to get that one where it like tracks me or whatever. All right, so the topic that I was talking about earlier was it was a lady that I had saw on YouTube. She was 57 and broke. Okay? 57 and broke. And she had left her corporate job to pursue a career in acting. And she left her corporate job to pursue an acting career in Atlanta. So she left Memphis, Tennessee to pursue a career in acting in Atlanta, Georgia. And at 50, I think I'm gonna rotate my camera. Okay, so you guys get a wide shot. So at 54, she left her corporate job in Memphis, Tennessee, and gave up everything and went to Atlanta, okay, to pursue an acting career. Now, and here's the thing. I'm not bagging on this lady. Not for a little bit. Not bagging on her at all. Not bagging on her, okay? So I want to just throw that out there. I'm not bagging on her at all. Because here's the reality. We all make mistakes. We all do it. With being a reader, tarot card reader, we all make mistakes. But here's the thing. The question that I have in all of this is what's the fixation with Atlanta? What is the crazy fixation with Atlanta? That's the question for me. What is the crazy fixation with going to Atlanta? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not understanding why people, and especially black people, flock to Atlanta to pursue careers. It's not that, because like we all make mistakes. And so all mistakes are made, and so there's a learning lesson behind all mistakes. But I just don't understand why she would go to Atlanta to pursue this career in acting. And it's just like, I've heard these stories of people flocking to Atlanta to pursue these careers. And it's like, what is in Atlanta? What's there? And I've been to Atlanta on quite a few occasions. I've been there many, many times. I've been there, okay? I've been to Atlanta quite a few times, okay? And, I'm just not, understanding what is the actual, what's there that makes people want to go to Atlanta to pursue all of these things there. I mean, help me to understand this, you know? It's that part for me. You know, I just don't understand it. Now, I've got quite a few friends who I talk to, and they tell me all the time, like, they say, well, Atlanta is a place where you can go. It's like the black Mecca. You know, it's like the black milk and honey. Black people can get all kinds of opportunities there. But I just don't see it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. And in this lady's case, and I've known quite a few people who went to Atlanta to pursue whatever it is, and they just didn't make it, okay? Now, again, I've been to Atlanta quite a few times. I've been there, okay? Let me just say that I've been there quite a few times. I have. And I just don't see where it is this, I don't see what people are seeing. I don't see the high, the money that people are making. I look for the jobs. Okay? I look for the jobs. I look for the high paying jobs. I truly did. I look for I looked for all those things, and I just didn't see it. Now, I have a cousin that lives there, and he lives in Marietta. And so when I when I decided to move from Cincinnati, Ohio to, when I decided I was gonna move, that I was gonna make the move from, because I used to live in, Dallas Fort Worth. When I divorced, and I moved from Dallas Fort Worth, I was in a horrible marriage, and I picked up and left, okay, and I moved back home to Cincinnati, Ohio, and I was there, and God blessed me with a huge monetary blessing, okay, and I finally decided that I was going to move, but I decided I was going to move somewhere where the weather was fairly nice, where fairly stable. And so my cousin, he lives in Marietta, Georgia, which is, I believe it's really close to Atlanta. And he said, oh, come out here to Atlanta. It's a lot of opportunities here and that. And I'm like, no, why would I want to move to Marietta? Because the weather, because I was trying to leave Ohio where the weather is not stable. It's crazy. The weather is crazy there. And so he's like, oh, come to Marietta. And I'm like, no, I don't want to come to Marietta because the weather is horrible there. It's like the same as Ohio. Why would I come? And then I got to looking at, the cost of living and because I wanted to buy a home. And I thought, well, how much is the housing prices? And it's through the freaking roof. And like, why would I want to buy it there? That's crazy. Everything's so expensive. And so I said, well, I want to be somewhere where it's warm, the weather is pretty stable, the cost of living is pretty stable, I can be by the water, I can get to water fairly quickly, well, within an hour. And so I got to looking at South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Savannah, but Atlanta, I was just like, no. And so many of my family members was just like, go to Atlanta. I'm just like, what is in Atlanta? I just don't know what's in Atlanta. What's in Atlanta that's got black people going crazy? And so I'm still trying to figure out. And so I moved here to Savannah, and I bought my home here in Savannah. I had it built from the ground up, and cost of living is great. I'm like 45 minutes to an hour from the water. Well, 35, 40 minutes away from the water. And the weather is pretty stable. It's not cold, not really, I can't really say that it's cold here, it really isn't. But, because I don't like the cold weather. But I'm like, why are people so fixated on Atlanta? And so when I used to call back home to my family, or my family would call me and say, hey, I heard you moved to Georgia, how do you like it down in, how do you like it in Atlanta? And I'm like, no, I live in Savannah. Oh, okay. And they would say, okay, and then conversation would progress. This is how fixated black people are on Atlanta. And then, yeah, I know, I'm gonna have to come down there and visit you. I always wanted to come to Atlanta. I know. I'm not in Atlanta. I'm in Savannah. Okay? And, and it's so crazy because they would be so fixated on Atlanta. And even like people who who don't like me, like people back home who don't like me, they're like, oh, you live in, you think you the shit because you live in Atlanta. And I'm like, no, I don't live in Atlanta. I don't live in Atlanta, honey. You got it all wrong, baby. I don't live in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't live in Atlanta. I'm sorry to tell you, boo, but I don't live in Atlanta. But it's like this, like, some of my family members, the first thing they think when I say, well, they say, well, you, even just people in general, where do you live? I live in Georgia. Oh, you live in, because they think because I'm black, and when I tell them I tell them I'm black and I live in Georgia, they think, first thing they think is Atlanta. Straight away, Atlanta. And it's like, no, Savannah. It's like this fixation with Atlanta. I don't get it. So I'm trying to figure out what is it about Atlanta that is so crazy. I just don't understand. I'm trying to understand it, but I just don't understand it. And so, if somebody, I mean, maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe I'm just ignorant. I don't know. Maybe I just don't have all the facts. I don't know. But I just don't know. And like I said, I've been there on quite a few occasions. I have. And again, I don't know what people see there. I don't know what people are seeing. But what I am seeing is there's many other attractions in different cities. And so I had a friend, he was a barber, and he went to Atlanta to pursue his barbering career in Atlanta, and he had to go back home because he suffered heart failure because all he was doing was working, paying child support and working because he could do nothing else. He barely could rest because the rents were so high, the cost of living was so high, and he could do nothing else but work. So I don't know. And my thing is that it seems like everyone in Atlanta has a bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate degree. So I just don't see where it is something where people are going to live high off the hog. I just don't see it. Like I said before, maybe someone can help me out in my own ignorance and let me know. But the people that I've talked to, they have struggled. They've struggled since they've gone there. Most people that I've talked to, they've struggled, you know? And so, I mean, help me out, really, because maybe I'm ignorant somewhere. And I truly don't want to be ignorant, but I just don't understand where and why people would flock to Atlanta. I've never understood that. I just never understood the asphyxiation with Atlanta and why it was just so important for people to get to Atlanta so much, you know. I just never understood it myself. So yeah, she said she went to Atlanta and she gave up everything to get there, and then she did not pursue what she wanted, and she ended up going broke, and she ended up having to go back to Memphis, Tennessee, because it didn't pan out. Maybe somebody can tell me. I just don't know. I just don't see where. And maybe because I've traveled so much, maybe because I've traveled overseas and domestically, to where going to Atlanta doesn't faze me. Like, the things that I've seen doesn't faze me. That part of the country doesn't faze me. Like, for me, I'd rather go to Dubai, or I'd rather go to, you know, I'd rather go to an island overseas first than to take a trip to Atlanta, to be honest. Yeah. I'd rather go to Nagoya, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Then you can impress me. Yeah. Then I probably would be impressed then. Because those places impress me, you know. But I guess she had a career in mind and it didn't pan out. At 57, I would have thought that she would have had this a little bit more planned out. But I don't know. But anyway, there's an actor, Tia, the actor, her twin, they're twins, Tia Mara, I think it is. Her husband made some disparaging remarks about people on food stamps. He made some remarks about people on food stamps. And I was looking at that earlier today, and I was just like, he talked about as if like, he said something about, and I'm only paraphrasing. You know, he made some statements like where his family had like a store or something, and how he would get mad because people were coming to the store and using the food coupons to buy other things than food or whatever, and that the government was right on point by trying to stop by not allowing people to use their food coupons or their food stamps for I guess non-nutritional food items or snacks or whatever you call it. I don't know, but my thing is this. It's like, I have a couple of issues with that situation. I have a couple of issues with that. First of all, why is the rich worried about what's in poor people's grocery baskets? Why? Help me out here. Why? That's number one. Like, can poor kids or kids who don't have as much have a bag of M&Ms? Because I was one of those kids at one time. Yeah, I was one of those kids. Yeah. I was one of those kids. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Second of all, see, this is the reason why some white folks need to stay up out of need to just stop, because they don't know what they're talking about. Because I feel like he was pointing that at certain folk, if you know what I mean. And so that's the reason why it's good for, especially when you're in an interracial relationship, some things just don't need to be said. When you're in an interracial relationship, sometimes you just need to just shut the fuck up. You know, just sometimes you just need to take your partner, especially when you're with a partner who's white or the other race and you're black. You just need to grab their mouth. Just shut up, because you don't know what you're talking about. Just okay. Third of all, when you look at the government's budget is a large amount of the government's budget, because I'm prior military. The largest amount of the government's budget is not spent on social services. It's spent on military. It's spent on defense. So are we really going to go there? I think we should not. See, this is where sometimes some white folks just need to shut the fuck up, because they don't know what they be talking about. And so sometimes when some white people get into office, that allows other white folks just to be talking shit. And they don't know what they be talking about. Because if he had known that most of the government spending was on defense, it presently is on defense, he probably wouldn't have said that. And you can fact check me on that. And government spending has been on defense for years. Most of government spending has been on defense for years. I know that's facts. So go and fact check me on that. So sometimes white people need to shut the fuck up on some things. Just shut the fuck up. And with Tia being mixed, I'm not going to say multiracial, because I don't even believe it. Boo-boo, honey. And she's not even mixed, she black. Because whenever you are mixed with two races, when you mix with black, honey, the melanin is, we know what that's all about. But anywho, she black. Boo-boo, you should just told him to shut the fuck up. Because he's talking too much. He's talking out the side of his damn neck, and he don't know what he's talking about. Sometimes some people need to shut the fuck up. So, y'all, I'm going to finish my little dinner. I'm cooking some broccoli on for my babies. Yes, I'm going to get my pot out. I'm going to steam this broccoli off. Y'all. Like I said, my little video from earlier didn't pop off like it was supposed to, and I am really upset about that, because I really wanted it to pop off, because it didn't, but I've been on here way too long. Okay. I'm only gonna cook a few of these broccolis because I know they're not good. Because you know my kids like the struggle food, honey. They like the struggle food, baby. They love the struggle food. They love struggle food. They love struggle food, child. They love struggle food. Yes, they do. They love struggle food. Mm-hmm. Where's the top? Mm-hmm. They love the struggle food. I'm gonna steam that just for these in the freezer. So, that's all I got because I ain't got no more. It is 30 minutes in. That's all I got because I ain't got no more. I love you all. Gratitude. Ashe. Namaste.